The Shelby GT350 is a powerful yet nimble version of the Mustang that is equally at home on the racetrack, as it is on the city streets. Shelby's exclusive high-revving 5.2-litre V8 remains the most powerful naturally aspirated Ford production engine ever, and the only one of its type in the segment, delivering 526 horsepower and 429 pound-feet of torque at a blistering 8,250 RPM redline. Proof of how wild and fantastical the power outputs of naturally aspirated cars have gotten in recent years comes in the form of the LFA. The Lexus LFA features a naturally aspirated 4.8-litre V10 engine, which produces 552 brake horsepower and 354 pound-foot of torque. That may seem rather modest in this age of 1,000 horsepower hypercars, but the LFA is more of an analog machine than most of those vehicles, and is regarded by many as one of the best supercars from the last decade. Peak power arrives at 8,700 RPM, by which point the inertia-free V10 will be shrieking away with a noise the LFA chief engineer described as the roar of an angel. Whether it be its sleek and timeless Pininfarina design or its epic 562 brake horsepower naturally aspirated V8 engine with a 9,000 RPM redline, the 458 was destined for greatness the moment the first car drove off the production line. Let's also mention that its F136 FB V8 engine provides one of the most thrilling soundtracks produced by any road-going vehicle out there, courtesy of an orchestra that octaves all the way to 9,000 RPM. The new Audi R8 V10 GT RWD is said to be the final edition of the sports car to feature the V10 power unit. Audi had previously hinted that it would be ending production of the 5.2-litre naturally aspirated V10 engine to focus on its electrification goals of the future. The new R8 GT is limited to just 333 units. The new rear-wheel drive mid-engine sports car comes with increased power and more aero, while shedding 20 kilograms of weight to help make it the most powerful version of the road-going R8. The V10 engine on the final iteration R8 produces 618 brake horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque, a bump up from the 568 brake horsepower on the standard version. The engine revs up to 8,700 RPM, allowing the R8 GT to sprint from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 3.4 seconds, and achieving a top speed of 198.4 miles per hour. The Porsche Carrera GT has become one of the most iconic and sought-after Porsche models in the realm of exotic car idolization and ownership. When the Porsche Carrera GT was released in 2004, it was anticipated to stir up plenty of fervor. It certainly had all the attributes to do so. It was a mid-engine V10 hypercar, one of the first to be considered a step beyond supercar status, and introduced a variety of industry-first technologies and features to the production car market. Besides being equipped with a wicked state-of-the-art naturally aspirated V10 engine which was ahead of its time, the Carrera GT was otherwise an extremely analog machine. Porsche's engineers managed to achieve maximum output of 612 brake horsepower at 8,000 RPM and 435 pound-feet of torque with a top speed of 205 miles per hour. The McLaren F1 is one of the most iconic supercars to date. The unique seating position, the Le Mans winning pedigree, and a limited run of just 106 units are just some of the things which make it so special. The McLaren F1 was the brainchild of Gordon Murray, and was hailed as a mechanical masterpiece at the time of its first unveil in 1992. The F1 made use of state-of-the-art materials, including carbon fiber, Kevlar, titanium, and even gold. The McLaren F1 is powered by a 6.1-litre, naturally aspirated V12 engine, producing over 620 brake horsepower while redlining at 7,500 RPM. It even held the title of the world's fastest production car, with a top speed of 240 miles per hour that stood until the Bugatti Veyron's arrival.